What is righteous, guys? If somebody sinned, what would be the righteous thing to do? To punish. But he didn't punish sinners all this time. He had to face this accusation of unrighteousness of those actions. Because he saved them. He preserved them. He chose them. How can a righteous God extend forgiveness to the wicked? That's unrighteous. How can a holy God have fellowship with such people? That's unrighteous. If God is righteous, why doesn't He enforce justice upon the sinners? Why did God have a prophet to tell them, to save, to preserve those people? Bible even testifies that animal sacrifice of the Old Testament could not take away sin. But God allowed that to be the atonement for them in the Old Testament. That is unrighteous. How was God able to forgive them then? Tolerating sin itself, isn't it an evidence that He's not righteous? Isn't forgiving those who deserve condemnation an evidence that God has abandoned His principle of justice? Romans 3 is saying He used the cross to demonstrate His righteousness. Why? It was being paid. It's been imputed. The sin of the past, sin of the present, sin of the future has been all imputed to Jesus. He took a price for it. That made God proved righteous. God laid the sin of His people on His only begotten Son. The penalty of justice that was due to His own people in all ages, the past, present, future, was laid upon Jesus Christ. The reason all of God's people, from the first to be forgiven and to the last to be forgiven at the end of the world, can receive the forgiveness of sins because of what Jesus Christ did on the cross. All of this was made possible by the blood that was being shed